Hello, Internet, and welcome to another edition of Matlock Tells You a Bunch of Stuff You Already Know, but with a beard. How's everybody doing? My name is Matt, aka Matlock. And I was very fortunate to be invited, just kind of go to Samsung's Galaxy Unpacked 2019 event yesterday at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn. I live right in the area, and there was a thing that said, hey, if you want to go, click this, and I went. And now, because I was able to go, I'm here to bring you my opinions on everything that Samsung announced yesterday. They announced a bunch of stuff. They announced a new Galaxy Tab S6, they announced a Galaxy Watch Active 2, a Galaxy Book S, and the Note 10 and the Note 10 Plus. Let's go through the other stuff first, and then we'll hit the big boy, the Note 10 and the Note 10 Plus, because I am legitimately excited for that phone. I'm not a person who wants to get excited for tech when I'm bringing it as a review type situation. I am an AMD user. I've used AMD cards for forever, and I was kind of critical of the Radeon 7. If you check that review right up here, you'll see I try not to get super excited. However, in the couple hours that I had hands-on with this phone, legitimately excited. Think it's going to be a good time. I guess we'll find out. So, the Tab S6. I use a Tab S4 right now. I like it. I don't entirely love it. I do like it quite a bit. I bought it for school. I use it for note-taking and for sketching things quickly as I'm an architecture student. I think that Apple kind of has the tablet market cornered with the iPad Pro. The Apple Pencil works really well. I like my S Pen a lot, and this new iteration seems to be a lot better. But I'd like to get my hands on it and give it a shot before I say, hey, this is going to be great. I played with it a little bit, but I was really more focused on the phone. The Tab S6, better battery life, thinner and lighter, definitely thinner and lighter than my Tab S4. The redesigned S Pen feels nice. And what's really cool, they have magnetic capture on the back of the tablet, so that you can just slot your S Pen in there, which was a big concern of mine with my Tab S4. I frequently couldn't find my S Pen. They also sell a cover that then will flap open, and you can just pop the S Pen out, and it'll flap back close, which is cool. There's two cameras on the tablet. Not that a whole lot of people take pictures with their tablets, but 8-core processor, really good battery life, as I said, and what Samsung's been doing a lot with their tablets later, AKG. If you're using it as a media consumption device, which I use my tablet as a lot, you get a little bit better sound, which is cool. Galaxy Book S, they also announced. Super thin laptop, 23-hour battery, always connected, gigabit LTE, a Snapdragon 8CX processor with Windows 10. So you've got an ARM processor with Windows 10, and USB-C charging, which you kind of expect on an Ultrabook on a thin and light like this. But I mean, this thing is tiny, it's super light. If I can try one out, I'm going to. Even if it's just going into the store and seeing what it feels like in the store, though, I would really love to get my hands on one. This thing looks legitimately interesting just because I want to see how ARM chips work with Windows 10 in 2019 at this point. Are they kind of like fighting themselves when they're saying the tablet is your productivity device, but also here's this literally 23-hour laptop that you can use for productivity? I don't know. We'll see. It looks like a really cool device as well. Really interested in that. But what I'm super, super interested in is the Note 10 and the Note 10. Two sizes. The Note 10 is 6.3 inches. The Note 10 Plus is 6.8 inches. I'm going to probably go for the Note 10 Plus if I get one. I am a Note 9 user now. I love my Note 9. It's my daily driver. I use it all the time. I use the S Pen. I use all the features of it. I think it's a great, great phone. The 10 Plus has a slightly larger battery. It includes an SD card slot, which the Note 10 does not. So you have to get the 10 Plus if you want an SD card slot. And if you buy it unlocked, you can get it in the Aura blue color, which I don't believe you can get the... neither phone has a headphone jack, which... All right, anyway, back to the phone itself. I think it is objectively beautiful. It's sleek. It's light. There's cool colors. It's well designed. The screen stretches the entire thing. There is that little, O cutout, but it's tiny for your selfie cam. There's an in-screen fingerprint reader, finally. The speaker is behind the screen. There's nothing other than the camera that is cut out of the screen. It's ridiculous. I know a lot of other manufacturers have done things like this, but it just feels, I've seen other phones, this just feels premium. It feels nice. I like it. And it's good that it feels premium because they're not cheap phones. Let's talk a little bit more about the design and the features of the phone, and then we'll get into price at the end. There are some interesting colors. They have all their auras. White, black, and blue are standard, and then they have this chromatic type thing, which is called Aura Glow, which changes colors. It's not something that I would probably personally use, but I showed it to my wife, and she's like, ooh, so I think she likes that. I might use it. I like it a lot too, but I just tend to always throw a case on my phone, so I don't know that I would get the use out of it. That's the only reason I wouldn't choose. The screen, as I mentioned before, stretches the whole way. It's beautiful. It's Samsung's typically great AMOLEDs. It's a slightly lower resolution as far as I know from the Note 9, but it wasn't noticeable. When I was watching people watching video and watching video on it myself, it looked great. It was incredible. They also have less blue light coming out of it, which is nice. A little less strain on your eyes. And everything that I looked at it looked like a typical Samsung experience. It was a little saturated, but everything looked as you would expect it to. Crisp, clear, absolutely great. The phone has fast charging, 45-watt wired fast charging, which means that you're like me, and you forget to charge your phone at night, you hop in the shower in the morning, you can plug it in and get like a full day's worth of charge. Also, if you use wireless charging, they have fast wireless 2.0, which is nice. I use wireless charging at night, typically. And there's supposed to be machine learning battery optimization, so you use less battery as time goes on. I'm somewhat skeptical of that. That's something that would have to be tested. The camera. The camera is very interesting. They have a lot of video creator tools that are added to it, which for me, as someone who would like to do this more and is aspiring to do this more, is very interesting. It means that I could potentially use my phone as a lot of my content creation, as opposed to having to go out and grab my mirrorless or grab my DSLR or something. One thing that I think is a great feature is that they added filters to your video, where you can have a bokeh effect. There's two different types, just a standard and then one where it gives you the orbs with all the lights. They have a black and white where your subject is in color and then everything else was in black and white behind them. That seemed to work really well. Another great thing that they've added for people who like creating video, you can edit directly on the phone now. They added a lot more editing tools into the Note 10 itself. You can do it all with the S Pen. And then they also have a partnership with Adobe, or Adobe has an app, something along. I'm sure there are a bunch of other video editing apps. You could either use Samsung's or a lot of the apps that are made work. So you can do a lot more nuanced editing of your videos directly on your phone without having to go over to your computer. You can get something out really quickly. They have a depth sensing 3D scanning camera. You can just walk around an object, scan it, send it directly to a 3D printer and print it out directly. You could scan an object and then attach it to someone and it will move. They did something with a stuffed animal, a bear that Samsung had created for Samsung Kids, where they scanned that and then it literally mimicked the movements of one of the reps as she was dancing around. It was pretty funny. So that's something that I think can be expanded on as well. The S Pen has a whole bunch of gesture controls now, a lot of them for the camera, but gesture controls in general, where you press the button and you do a little wave and it'll take a picture, or you can go up and down to change the camera, and a whole bunch of interesting stuff like that. The S Pen has better battery life, and then you can also do something where you draw on someone's face or you draw around them and it's attached to them. Kind of like an augmented reality type deal, but just directly on your phone. They can cover their face and it goes away, they can open their face, and that was a fun feature. Not something that I would necessarily use every day, but you know, interesting nonetheless. And then as to just the power of it, Snapdragon 855, it's a beefy processor. Everything felt subjectively snappy. Gaming integration, Samsung has integrated their games launcher with Discord. As a Twitch streamer and gamer, I like that. That's good. And they've also have a Call of Duty partnership where I don't know if you remember with the Note 9, they had a rather famous Fortnite partnership with the Fortnite skin and everything. Now they have it with Call of Duty. You can still play Fortnite on your phone if you want to. You can also play Call of Duty. And watching people play games looked good, felt good. Played some myself, tried it out. Good times all around. The Note 10, great phone, as far as I can tell right now. Would love to get my hands on one. Samsung, if you're watching, I live in Jersey. I know you guys are somewhere in Jersey. You can just send me one. I'll send it back to you. Don't worry about it. Really, I will. I want to try it out. I'd like to be able to review it. If you want to send one for me to review, think about it. As I said earlier, it's a premium phone. Feels premium price though. The Note 10 itself starts $949.99. The 10 Plus, $1099.99, and the 10 Plus 5G, $1299.99. Little expensive, yes. However, there are a lot of carrier discounts, which are available both through your carrier and Samsung.com. And if you're thinking about getting it, Samsung.com will give you a $150 credit to Samsung.com on other products if you buy it through them. So you can get the carrier discount and the Samsung.com credit and potentially get yourself like a Gear VR or some wireless earbuds or something like that. Things to consider. I tend to recommend not pre-ordering until you see full reviews of things, but if you would like to pre-order, if you're one of those people who's going to do it anyway, consider that. But again, wait for full reviews. Make sure that it's something that you really want. I think I'm probably going to get one just from my couple hours with it. It felt nice. It felt right. And I think it's very interesting. Those are my hits. Keep your eye out for a full review, be it through Samsung sending me one, which is not likely, or me buying it, which is probably the way. Thanks, guys. If you like this video, hit the thumbs up. If you like what I do in general, subscribe down below or over here. I'll put it somewhere. It's gonna pop up. Thanks. I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Oh no. Tap that real fast.